Alright, I've been using the iPhone 12 Pro as my daily driver for a little over a week now. Or like days, a couple of days now. And I have a lot of things to say about it. If you haven't watched our unboxing video, it's gonna be linked at the top right of this video. Go ahead and watch it. But for now, I'll be handling this to my friend for the full review. Alright, mate? Oh, take it away. Alright, thanks Lou. And further ado, I have it. It's time to review the iPhone 12 Pro. Let's go. So for the purposes of this video, I'm not going to compare it to the normal 12. I'm not even going to compare it to the 12 Pro Max. I'm just going to review this phone as it is right now. I know the latest and greatest and the hot stuff right now is the iPhone 14. Now I'm reviewing the 12. Why is that? Well, it's an overview. iPhone 12 Pro in 2022. About those people who were trying to get, lower units, buying them refurbished, secondhand, and all that kinds of stuff. So, I have been using this iPhone 12 Pro for over 6 months now. 6 months. This is going to be a long-term review on what has been happening on my usage on the iPhone 12 Pro. So first, the most exciting part, the part you've all been waiting for, is the specs of the iPhone 12 Pro. And here it is. And yeah, it's done. That's it for the specs. You all know what iPhones are capable of. Let's skip that part and we're gonna head on to the second part. So looking at the design of this iPhone 12 Pro, I mean it's premium. It screams premium. Gorilla Glass on the back and ceramic shield at the front, covered by a stainless steel frame all around this thing. IP68, water and dust resistance, and no headphone jack. LiDAR sensors in front and the back, capable of doing faster autofocus, and yes, of course, your AR capabilities. At the front, of course, is for your Face ID. Speakers, very decent speakers. Here's an audio test. And for display, this guy is running in an OLED HDR10, maximum of 1200 nits, 6.1 inches, 460 pixel density PPI, and just 60 Hz. So the thing is, it screams premium, and I really love this matte back. It's quite heavy too. It's really solid. On my 6 months of usage, I don't really complain about. Actually, it is nice to hold. I'm using it for gaming. I'm using it for normal phone stuff. I'm using it right now, and it feels okay. It's nice to hold. Some people might even complain that this is like hurting their palms here because of the edges. No, not really. This is really good. And these back, of course, it doesn't get much of a fingerprint smudges and all that, but it still has it in over time of use, especially this Apple logo here. This stainless steel frame, wow, like it's just filled with fingerprints all the time. So when it comes to strength and durability, this guy is easily scratchable, easily crackable. And even though it has a ceramic shield on the front, well, that's the stronger side of the phone. But how about the back? How about the camera lenses? Nope. I don't think so. They're very fragile, very scratchable. Something to keep in mind, please. So put some screen protectors on your phone, put some cases. But overall, the feel and the design, super premium. It's amazing. Moving on to the software, I'm going to have an in-depth software review. I'm going to make the video comparing the Android and iOS experience. Right now, at this update, I have updated it to iOS 16, and everything about iOS 16 is freaking fantastic. It has a lot of features. This is the thing about iPhones, What makes them good is not the phone themselves, but the software optimization that they're in. So everything around this phone runs so smoothly. In my 6 months of usage, everything just runs so smoothly. I have occasional lags and crashes, but it's not a lot. It happens. When it happens, it's very annoying. Like, you're using this thing continuously and then it just happens all of a sudden. That's very annoying. But other than that, I mean, this thing is jam-packed with features. You don't even get to use them a lot, but there are a lot of features. The only downside though, for me, I mean, I'm not comparing again, but coming from an Android user, I believe that there's just so much thing that the iOS is not reliable on. Since it's not super compatible with most of the stuff out in the real world, like Windows, Android, you're gonna have trouble passing files, even using documents. Like, that's the only downside. Every time I use this phone, I always got a constant urge to like, man, I really wish my phone could do this. Man, I really wish my phone could deal with these documents. Of course, I work in an office setup, and yeah, documents are all my stuff. I mean, you can argue that there's a lot of document stuff here on iOS, but it's just so hard to obtain. There's so many steps to get there, man. It's not easily accessible. It's not that fast. It takes you a lot of process. It even asks you to pay money. Every time I use this thing, I'm confident that it's so reliable. The only problem is it can't do everything. You know, there's a lot of things that it can't do, and most of those things are the stuff that's important to me. If you're a long-term iOS user, you might not be bothered, but for me, who switches on operating systems most of the time, man, it's really a different world, man. Moving into performance, A14 Bionic chip. They've been bragging about this, the fastest chip. It is, it's true. It's very top-notch, very fast. The gaming here is so smooth. And you know what? It's not just because of the chip, but because of the software optimization on the phone. This unit has 6 GB of RAM, 256 GB of storage. And I tell you what, I didn't notice anything about the 6 GB RAM of things. This thing has 6 GB of RAM and you barely feel it. I mean, yes, it's powerful, it's fast, it can handle many applications, but you don't really feel. That's what I really noticed a lot when I was using this for the past 6 months. Moving on to the battery, this is where things get a hard hit. 2,815 milliamp hours of battery is not the biggest battery. 20 watts fast charging when you're in a cable, and 15 watts fast charging when you're in a MagSafe. I don't have a MagSafe. I don't think it's practical. You think MagSafe is practical? What is the true benefit of a MagSafe charger? You're both gonna plug your phone into a wired material anyway. It's not wireless charging. You're gonna grab the phone, you're gonna use the phone, and still have a wire dangling around because of the MagSafe. If you've seen the unboxing video, you are given just a cable, USB-C to Lightning. This power brick is you're going to need to buy separately. And let me tell you what, here's the story of the battery life of the iPhone 12 Pro. I'm going to show my battery usage charts here on the screen right now. The thing is, this phone is okay, but what's not okay is it will not get you till the end of the day. I mean, the thing is, it dies when the day is about to end, and you don't want that. You know, that's really sad. That happens when you're a heavy user like me. I'm such a heavy user. At the worst case scenarios, it even runs out of battery so fast, I got to charge it at the middle of the day, around the afternoon. From the morning to the afternoon, it's in like 20%. It's freaking crazy, dude. You know, there's a lot of factors contributing to this. Of course, my usage time, the charging speeds, the heat, and even the 60 GB of RAM. Also, whatever I'm doing with my phone. On very light and moderate usage case, I mean, it's really good. It'll get you 2 days of moderate to light. Fast charging. Let me tell you, it is fast charging. It's not acceptable fast. It's like low on juice. I'm gonna charge it up. I'm gonna leave it for a sec, do some other stuff that I got to do, and when I came back, it's running around like 60 to 70%. It's really good. I really have no complaints. This is not a slow charging to me at all. It does heat up very quickly. But nonetheless, I mean, it's good. It's good that it's still alive. Battery health is okay. Yeah, really good about the battery. And for the final category, the cameras. I'm going to make an in-depth video exploring all of the camera features and the capabilities of this iPhone 12 Pro camera. I made an initial video when I went on a family vlog. You can go ahead and watch that video here. I'll link it anywhere at the top. But what I would tell you right now is these 3 lenses here at the back. They're all 12 megapixels. 12 megapixel for main is a 1.6 aperture wide. 12 megapixels for ultra wide is an aperture 2.4, and 12 megapixels for telephoto has an aperture 2.0. The video is capable of a maximum 4K 30 FPS and 1080p at 240 FPS for your fantastic slow motion. So while I'm talking, I'm going to post pictures and videos of all of my shots, so you can go ahead and see and judge for yourself. Like, generally speaking, the photos are really good in optimal lighting conditions. There's nothing to say about that. When you're out in the sun, whatever focal length, your telephoto, your ultra wide, it's really good. It's generally really good. You know what it's not good though? More often than not, and most of the time, like 100% of the time, you cannot pixel peep this thing, because once you zoom in, it's low megapixel. It's a 12 megapixel camera. And the only thing that makes it good is the computational photography, the optimization, the lenses, and when you're looking at it as a whole. But you know it's not good though. Sometimes at non-optimal lighting conditions, it will start to fall, it will start to degrade, it will start to fringe and blur, and a lot of this color correction mistakes, it's really crazy and it's really bad. The good thing is, it's reliable, you know? You pull out your camera, you shot something, boom, it's there. But good news, because when it comes to video, the iPhone video is perfect. This is the most perfect video capture capability of a smartphone ever. Like, the iPhone can fall on images a lot, but video, nothing tops an iPhone video. That's about it for the cameras of the iPhone 12 Pro. Before the review ends, I'll give you my general overview of the things that I like about this phone and the things that I don't really like. Starting off, the things that I don't really like is the battery life. For heavy users, the practical thing to use is the 12 Pro Max. I only got a 12 Pro, so it's not enough for me. It's really sad. Battery life, it's okay. I mean, it's good, okay, but it's not really that great. Things that I don't like, the camera. There will always be imperfections when it comes to camera, especially smartphone cameras. They're just smartphones, man. Like, what do you expect? Man, this is just a very little nitpick on the camera side of things. Software is one of the things I really don't like about iOS in general. The reason why I'm not an iOS user, even though I have a MacBook, this computer is even a Mac. It is a Mac Mini. The computer side of things, iOS or Mac OS, is really good when it comes to computers. But iOS, when it comes to cell phones, now your cell phones should have more capability, at least the same capabilities of your computer, or even more, because they're portable. They're the most portable, small, reliable devices you always have with you. You don't always have a computer with you. You have a phone. So a phone should be reliable, capable, and really good in doing a lot of things. So I really struggle about most of that. The reason why I don't have an iPhone, I always tend to have another Android backup just in case. I mean, since I'm a fan of Android, I'm a fan of customization and the freedom to choose and to do anything with your device. But that's not the case here, so yeah, you're just gonna hate because I'm not an iPhone user. I'm not an iOS user at all. So the iOS users out there, I'm really sorry, but there's just things that you gotta have, alright? For things that I like about this phone, man, I like a lot of things about this phone, man. I mean, all of those things that I don't like, I like a lot. The camera is awesome. Video is literally flawless, alright? Photos are so reliable. Whip out your cam, snap a photo, you're done. I like the sensors a lot. The sensors are really helpful. They're just minor stuff in there, but they're really helpful, especially the Face ID. I really like the performance. I like the iOS 16 thing. I like that it's super premium, man. Gaming smooth sailing. I just game a lot on this, and I feel confident gaming on these than Android phones so far, alright? As a final note, you can't really have the best of both worlds. iOS is a locked ecosystem. It has things that it does, and only it does, and you can't do anywhere else. You got an iOS, you're stuck on iOS. You got an Android, you're stuck on Android. You can't have the features of both. They have their own ecosystem, they have their own worlds, and I'm glad. It's okay, because in this way, we get to experience very different things. You know, the first time I used an iOS, I was baffled by so many things I don't know. I was so intrigued, and it's crazy how it's so different from all the phones that I'm used to. I am an avid Android user, and when I use this phone, man, like, everything is so different. And you know what? It feels fun, and it feels good to explore many different things sometimes. So yeah, if you're getting an iPhone 12 Pro right now, you can get a refurbished, secondhand, or however you want to go it. just make sure you're gonna grab it on a best deal, or on a reasonable deal, because otherwise, just go ahead and upgrade yourself to an iPhone 12 Pro Max. This is just the awkward middle child. And if you're not that much of a power user, you just want a cheap alternative and a downgrade or a little less of a unit, just go ahead with the iPhone 12. It's basically the same thing, but this thing has just much more extra capabilities. An iPhone 12 Pro now in 2022 is actually super worth it. And you know what? This thing is going to last for like 4 to 5 years into the far future. And yeah, it's gonna still be alive and well and still be relevant. That's the thing that's good about the iPhones. Alright, hope you enjoyed that iPhone 12 Pro review by me. And go ahead and watch all the other vids, links, and all the other tech reviews that I'm going to. Alright? Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. If you want more content like these, yeah, go ahead and stay tuned. And I'll see you guys elsewhere. This has been the iPhone 12 Pro review. Just like that.